You open a VA letter and see the words, "Please provide additional evidence." Suddenly, every page in your house looks important. Do you send everything? Do you wait? Did you just miss a deadline? Here's the position I want to take today. An evidence request should trigger a checklist, not a guessing game. You do not need to panic upload your entire life. You need to identify the question, organize the response, verify the instructions, and protect your records. That is the playbook.
Welcome to the Veteran Benefits Reset Podcast. I'm Cameron Burrell, a U.S. Army veteran and founder of VetBiz Media. This show helps veterans and their families understand the VA disability benefits process in plain language. Today, we are staying focused on one recurring moment. VA asks for more information, and you need to decide what to do next. This is an independent educational resource, not legal or medical advice. Your facts may be different from another veteran's, so verify current instructions through official VA resources and consider working with a VA-accredited VSO, claims agent, or attorney when appropriate. Veteran to veteran, let's slow the moment down and make it manageable.
First, do not assume every VA message is asking you for evidence. A status update tells you where something is moving. An evidence request tells you there is a specific action, record, form, or piece of information being developed. A decision letter tells you VA has taken an action and explains what was considered and what options may be available. Those are different kinds of communication. Do not treat all three like the same kind of mail.
Before you react, look at the actual source. What is the date? Which claim or issue does it mention? What action does it ask you to take? Are there enclosures or additional pages? If the message appears online, compare it with the official correspondence available through your account. If it arrived by mail, keep the entire letter, not just the first page, the entire letter. And if something feels unclear, do not let a search result or a friend's experience fill in the blanks. The request itself and current official VA guidance control.
Now find the question inside the request. Do not try to solve the whole VA system at once. Ask 4 smaller questions. What issue is this about? What record, information, form, or explanation is being requested? What dates or time period are mentioned? And what does the communication actually say about responding? Write the answers in plain language, but keep the original document beside your notes. Your summary helps you think. The original wording tells you what you still need to verify. For example, a request might ask for treatment information from a particular period, or it might ask for information about a provider. It could involve employment documentation connected to an issue. The important point is this. Your first job is not to predict whether the evidence will be enough. Your first job is to understand what was requested. The mistake is treating uncertainty as a reason to send more. Our answer is to ask a narrower question.
Here is the distinction that can save you a lot of confusion. Some records are already in your possession. Other records may be held by a clinic, hospital, military archive, employer, agency, or another custodian. A request may ask you to provide something directly. It may explain that VA is attempting to obtain something from another source. It may ask for authorization or additional information. Do not assume VA has every record simply because the record exists somewhere. But do not assume you have to recreate a record that another custodian may hold either.
If you need help, a useful question for an accredited representative is, what exactly is being requested from me? And what is VA attempting to obtain from someone else? That question keeps the response focused. It also helps separate what you know from what you are assuming. Facts over frustration. Education before action. Now, take a sheet of paper, open a Notes app, or use a spreadsheet. Draw 3 columns. The first says, I already have. The second says, another custodian may have. The third says, I need clarification. That is your response inventory. In the first column, list relevant documents you can locate, along with the dates they cover. In the second, list the provider, facility, agency, employer, or other source that may hold records. In the third, write questions. Do not write guesses. Questions. Maybe you are unsure which period matters. Maybe the request uses a term you do not understand.
Maybe you cannot tell whether a form is required. Put that uncertainty in the third column. That is not failure. That is useful information. One step, one record, one mission. The worksheet turns a broad, intimidating letter into a list you can review one item at a time. I get why people send everything. More records can feel like more protection, but relevance beats volume. Start with the question in the request, then gather documents that reasonably relate to that question. Check the name, date, source, and issue on each document. Remove duplicates when practical. Keep your own complete copy of everything you submit, and look twice for private information that has nothing to do with the request. Unrelated family records, financial information, or medical details do not become relevant just because they are in the same folder.
Readable is better than dramatic. Give files names that tell you what they are. For example, treatment record, clinic name, month, and year. That is easier to track than a file named with random numbers. If you have several documents, make a short index. List the document, its source, the date range, and why it relates to the request. Keep it factual and brief. You do not need to write a dramatic story around every page. If the instructions call for a statement, make it accurate and limited to what you personally know. Do not alter records and keep copies rather than sending irreplaceable originals unless official instructions specifically address that issue.
Before you submit, pause for one final comparison. Can you point to the document that addresses each requested item? Are the dates clear? Did an unrelated record sneak into the package? Did you save the request, your worksheet, your index, and the documents? Use the official submission method described in the communication or confirmed through a current official VA source. Be cautious with links, messages, emails, or calls that request sensitive information when you cannot verify who is contacting you. When in doubt, pause and confirm through an official channel.
Let's talk about timing carefully. A communication may show a date, a number of days, or another response instruction. Not every situation uses the same timing rules, and the consequences can differ. I am not giving you a one-size-fits-all deadline here. The request and current official guidance control. Write down the date shown on the letter, the date you received or accessed it, and the response information exactly as written. If you are unsure how it applies to your circumstances, contact VA through an official channel or speak with an accredited representative as soon as practical.
Then save the handoff. Record the date, the method, the item submitted, and any confirmation number or receipt. If you upload documents, save the confirmation page or download the receipt when available. If you mail something, keep the mailing information and a copy of the package. If you speak by phone, note the date, the general subject, and any instructions you were given. Keep those notes secure. Your log only needs to answer 3 questions later. What did I receive? What did I send? What do I still need to verify? Organization is not perfect paperwork. It is a clearer next conversation.
Picture a general example. A veteran receives a request asking for treatment information from 2019 through 2021 and employment details related to reduced hours. The first reaction is, I'll upload every medical record and every employment document I have. That reaction is understandable, but the veteran stops and opens the worksheet. In the first column, treatment records already available. In the second, records that may be held by a clinic or another organization. In the third, questions about which employment information is relevant and what format the request expects. The veteran then checks the current instructions, asks an accredited representative about the unanswered questions, prepares a focused index, submits relevant copies, and saves the confirmation. That example does not tell you what to submit in your own case. Your issue, records, request language, and available options may be different. It shows a way to think. Ask, what issue is this addressing? What part is my responsibility? What might another custodian provide? What should I keep? What current official source confirms the instructions? Write down the answers and verify important details before acting.
A few mistakes are especially common. treating a request like a denial before reading it, waiting because the language feels confusing, sending unrelated records just to feel productive, failing to keep proof of what you sent, relying on an old instruction or an online comment instead of checking current guidance. None of those mistakes means your story is over. They are reminders to slow down. You do not have to solve the entire VA system in one afternoon. Identify the next responsible step, then take it carefully. Stay organized, stay informed, stay ready.
So here is the routine to remember. Read the request. Identify the exact question. Separate what you have from what another custodian may hold. List what needs clarification. Prepare focused and readable copies. Submit through a verified method and save the confirmation. Not guessing, not panic uploading, not treating a tracking entry as an outcome. Organize, verify, execute. Current VA instructions can change, so confirm the details through official VA resources or an accredited professional when appropriate.
Before you finish this episode, take a sheet of paper or open a notes app and write 3 headings. I already have, another custodian may have, and I need clarification. Add a place for the date received, the response instructions, the submission method, and the confirmation number. You can create this worksheet even if no request is waiting for you today. Then, if one arrives later, you have a starting point instead of a blank page. Earned benefits start with good preparation. Education before action. 1 step, 1 record, 1 mission.
Thanks for listening to the Veteran Benefits Reset podcast. I hope you have a clearer way to respond when VA asks for more information. Remember, this is an independent educational resource. It is not legal or medical advice, and it does not replace guidance from a VA-accredited veteran service organization, claims agent, or attorney. Every veteran's service, medical history, and claim are unique. Verify current information through official VA resources and get accredited help when appropriate. If this episode helped, follow the podcast, leave a review, and share it with another veteran, family member, or caregiver who could benefit. Download the free 7-step Veteran Benefits Reset Guide at vetbizmedia.com/veteran7. It can help you organize your military, medical, employment, and VA records before taking the next step. And remember, your service did not expire. Your story is still worth reviewing. Take the next responsible step.